Hi, I'm April from GettingMyActTogether.com, and I wanted to do a video on packing light, how to best pack light for your European trip, because this is something when I traveled that I was watching a lot of, trying to gather all the most information I can, because I did a couple of trips where I wasn't happy with the way I packed and I wanted to find the best way to do it. And as an Army wife, I travel a lot. I've done a lot of flying and trips overseas, and I just really feel like this is useful information for anyone who's trying to go overseas for the first time or second time. These are my best packing tips that I've used to not use checked luggage at all and to not have to use a backpack, because I felt like that was exhausting and also it didn't feel very safe because people over there are known for being pickpockets, and your backpack, you can't see it at all. So I perfected the form of using just a roller bag. And anyway, I'm gonna show you what I use and how I do it. And I hope that you'll find these tips helpful. Okay, first of all, I love to fly with an over-the-shoulder bag and your standard carry-on luggage size roller bag. And then you put this under the seat in front of you, and you put this in the overhead compartment. And what about a purse? You take your purse and you put it in the over-the-shoulder bag. So you don't want one's too big, but when you're walking around Europe all day and wherever you are, you don't want a really heavy bag anyway. You want to leave the rest of this at the hotel and have just a light purse. So I love a purse like this. It just goes over your shoulder, but it doesn't look like a tourist bag either. It looks like a nice purse. So you could wear this and fit in pretty well. Anyway, so love this. And it completely zips and snaps, feels very secure. You can carry it kind of on the front. And anyway, I just love this. And I have weak shoulders. So I even pared it down to have a super lightweight wallet. You can buy these on like Amazon. I got one that's Alabama because I went to Alabama, an Alabama fan. But anyway, all I put in here was like my cash and my ID and 2 credit cards. And then that keeps it really lightweight. And then this all goes in here. And then I have my phone, whatever else you need in your purse. And it fits in your carry-on bag really easily. Another thing you really need to have on the plane is a water bottle. You'll take it through security empty. And then once you get into the airport, most airports have a water bottle filler station. I've had trouble finding them at DC's Reagan Airport, but other than that, most of them have it. And then you can fill it up right before the airplane ride, because airplanes dehydrate you. And if you're depending on the airplane to give you water, you're gonna be doing a lot of being thirsty and waiting, and then your ears don't pop as well. You need to be hydrated for that. So that's my personal experience as a person with sinus issues. Anyway, if you have sinus issues, take an empty water bottle on your plane. Trust me, on this one, you will be so thankful that you do. Okay, and then another really great hack for the flight was this. This was wonderful. It's not your standard neck pillow. It's deflated, so it takes up no space in your luggage. And I just blew it up in my seat. It was not hard to do. And when I was finished and the plane was landing, I let all the air out, and it was not hard to do. Like, this was super easy to use. I'll put a link in the description so that you can find one for your trip. But these are fantastic, and you can get them on Amazon. So those are my favorite carry-on hacks for the bag that goes in the seat in front of you. That is just such a big deal. And I didn't bring a lot of snacks because even though I actually have to be gluten-free, so sometimes it's hard to find snacks that work well, but they end up getting all mushy, and so I want to bring more than 1 or 2 snacks, because you're going to be able to find food, and if you're not, it won't kill you to go a couple hours without food. I wouldn't recommend packing a bunch of food. It takes up too much space. Anyway, so I didn't do that. Even though I'm gluten-free, I knew it would be a challenge. It wasn't too big of a challenge. Sometimes restaurants were, but that's another story. So, okay, then the roller bag. I have some tips I want to talk about that. Oh yeah, planes are cold. I didn't want to forget to mention that. Planes are really cold when you're flying over the ocean for like 9 hours. I've never not been cold on those flights. So just pack a nice, not too hard to put on, zip up jacket that you love. Or even one of the flights that I went on overseas with Alan, I forgot to pack anything for if I got cold. So I ended up having to borrow one of his long sleeve shirts. And, you know, it worked. But this is really nice to have. And then and it also doubles if you need a light jacket when you're over there. So I put this in the carry-on bag with the purse and the water bottle and the airplane pillow thingy. And the airplane will give you like a little pillow and a blanket. They give that to everyone who rides on an overseas flight to use on the plane, not to keep. But I don't know, the neck one is just shaped better. It just really works. And the blanket, I'm sure they wash those, but I don't know, I just feel better with my own little jacket on than using their blanket. That's just me. So any roller bag that is the right size for carry-on will do. It's the smallest size of roller bag. The medium size roller bags are too big to be counted as carry-on, so you have to go with the smallest size. And yeah, it just works. And so I like having a luggage tag because then you can find it easier if they do check it, because sometimes that happens. Usually not on an overseas flight though, because those are really giant planes, and I haven't had to do that on those. But you might have some connections to smaller airports and they might take your bag and check it. But in that case, it's really nice to have a little luggage tag on it. So another hack that I do is folding my clothes so that I know what I have in my suitcase. Because you know, if you just shove it all in there, you can't find stuff and you don't know what's on the bottom and you're scrambling through it and it's a giant mess by the time the trip is over. And even with my method, it's going to be messier by the time the trip is over. But unless you're just better than me. Anyway, if you're a woman and you're going to Europe in the summer, dresses are fabulous. If you're a woman whose thighs rub together. Now, when I was younger, I thought my thighs rubbed together, but they didn't the way that they do now. Because I could wear a dress without wearing shorts underneath and I was fine. Those days are gone for me. So if you find it problem with thigh chafing under your dress, they sell little spandexy shorts. They look like those men's underwear really, but they're just little shorts that will not ride up, like just little shorts to go under your dresses. But anyway, so it's extremely comfortable and breathable. A nice little dress. Like if I'm going for 10 days, I'll pack 5 outfits and then I will wash them halfway through. Once I've worn them all, I will have a washing day and I'll wash them. Or if you wash them a little at a time because you're staying in small hotel rooms, that's a good idea too. But anyway, so this last time I packed 2 dresses and like 3 tops and 2 bottoms in addition to the pair that I was wearing on the plane. And that worked really, really well. So that is my first tip. My second tip is that when you fold your clothes and put them in your suitcase, to put them in sideways. So, and this works for traveling anywhere. In America, I do this when I fly home for Christmas, when I fly home for the summer. Anytime I fly, this is something I've picked up that really works. I just take the clothes. This is one of my favorites. I wore it 2 different days in England this summer. I really like this shirt. Hey, if you're going on vacation, take your favorite shirt. Take your cutest favorite shirts because you're gonna be taking pictures and everyone's gonna see what you wore. Okay, and then I have my pants and I already folded them. But you know, you just fold them and then you put them in sideways. And at the beginning of the trip, I like to put like the outfits together. Like, okay, so that you know you have whole outfits. I'm gonna put this shirt with these pants and I'm gonna put it in like that. Anyway, so when you're done, your suitcase looks like this. So they're like, and then as you put in more, you just shove them over. And don't put anything that's too crazy prone to wrinkling. You know, you have something 100% linen, maybe not take it to Europe. So you want to use your things that handle a suitcase without wrinkling like crazy, because who wants to iron on vacation? And then you want to use materials that just work. These, I love. I think I got these from Lands' End. These are great. No, LL Bean. These are great little hiking travel pants. And I don't just use them for hiking, but when you're wearing them, they just look like black pants. Like, okay, well, there is a reflective strip on the back pocket, so. But usually my shirts kind of cover that anyway. But anyway, so they're like a 3/4 length pant, like what we used to call capri pants. Nobody ever talks about capri pants anymore, but I guess I'm still wearing them. So, but they're just perfect for summer. I mean, when it's 80 degrees outside Fahrenheit, sometimes in Italy it was 40 degrees Celsius. Like that's like 100 degrees. So it was burning up, and having a pair of pants like this that are moisture wicking is just perfect. And they don't look, I mean, they are exercise pants, but they don't look like bumming pants. They look nice. So that works. And then, and shirts, you want to be comfortable like that too. Really look at the weather for where you're going. And if you're going in the summer, I mean, you probably don't even need jeans, but I did for the UK. If you're going to the UK in the summer or you're going to Scandinavia, you're gonna need jeans. And actually it's a good idea for if you wanna go out at night and wear jeans, but dresses work for that really well. So jeans weren't big because we went to Scotland, and so I just saved my jeans for my Scotland day. And sure enough, it was cool and rainy, which was wonderful. Who doesn't want to go to a cool and rainy place in the middle of July? So that was fantastic. And anyway, so that worked really well. Shoes. Okay. Even when I was young and had the healthy feet, even then, comfortable shoes are a big deal when you're putting in 15,000 steps a day, which often on vacation you are. So, because you're exploring a place, it's a lot of steps. Disney World, Europe, doesn't matter. New York City, you need nice shoes. So a tennis shoe like this just works so well for everything because it looks more like an outfit shoe than a running shoe does. So I wore these in Europe instead of my Asics, even though my Asics are crazy comfortable and I love them. And this is actually a Dr. Scholl's brand shoe. But wear whatever works for you. But you know, a tennis shoe that is in this style is more currently in style for wearing with dresses. And I mean, I wore them with dresses. And I had a off-white pair that I wore with the other dresses. They aren't as comfortable as these though. So I wanted to talk about these and Dr. Scholl brand because, oh my goodness, if you ever have trouble with your feet, Dr. Scholl brand, but you have to make sure you get a good large size enough for you. So anyway, they're awesome. Also Asics is awesome. Also Brooks. Those are my 3 favorite shoe brands for when I have plantar fasciitis. Otherwise I can wear more things. But anyway, so those are really my biggest tips for when you're flying and what you need to pack. I can't currently think of the other I did travel with my sons and my husband, and I did these same things for them, except for obviously they weren't wearing dresses, but they wore shorts. We're Americans, we wear shorts. And it was fine. And I had them some hiking pants too, actually, that I found on Amazon. Oh, and I had this great pair of black pants, and it's kind of unbelievable because I wore them in London on a day that was really hot, like 80 degrees Fahrenheit in London, black pants. And they were not a problem because of the material that they were. And I bought them on Amazon, and I'll put them in the description. I'll put a link because they were incredible. They are now my go-to travel pants because they're not yoga pants, but they're not slacks. Like they're kind of in between. And so they don't look tight on you. They're loose, but they're not so loose that they look like super wide pants. I don't know. They're just perfect. And they just traveled really well. I traveled in them. I toured London in them. I wore them back on the airplane ride home because they were so perfect. So yeah. And they're in the laundry now, or I would show them to you because I still wear them all the time. So I'll have to put a link to those in the comments. But I hope this was helpful, and I hope you get to go on a great trip and have a great time. And thanks for watching my video.